another day. Little children want to play. Rain, rain, go away. Children in Damba chanted as the clouds formed. It was every child's dream to chant this rhyme, but never actually meant it. As the rain poured down, Damba was a beautiful and peaceful community where everyone lived in harmony. Kong kong, kong kong, the gongo beater beat his drum one early morning as the whole community gathered to listen to the message that the king had for his subject. Peace be unto you, people of Damba, the gongo beater said. The king, queen, and the elders of Damba wishes to announce to you that our crown prince will be choosing a wife soon. Every household is set to present their daughters above the ages of 19. There is going to be a week full of activities to choose the future princess of Damba. The prince will be shown on the last day of the event. Thank you all for listening. Cheers and hand claps erupted from the people. They jubilated at their own children possibly becoming the princesses of their native, which was going to raise the status of that particular family. Adesa stood far from the community and listened. She smiled, knowing well she was never going to be part of the young ladies vying for the heart of the prince. Who was she to even get close to the prince or even think of being a princess? Since birth, she lost her parents to an accident on the farm, so she never knew who her parents were due to that accident. Her grandmother, who was her only guardian, was blamed for the death of her parents. The villagers hooted at her and called her a wicked witch, causing her to leave the community with Adesa and living at the outskirts of the village. Prince Didi had always been in the palace. He never knew who his people were. To get to know his people, the people he would one day lead, he said to his father, the king, "Long live the king. I would like to discuss something with you, father." Didi said to him, "Okay, my son. I have decided that I would like to disguise myself as a pauper and live among the people of Damba for the duration of the ceremony. I want to know who my people are, what their likes and dislikes are, and especially how they treat people they do not know." The king thought it wise and allowed his son to set off on his new journey. A week of staying as a poor stranger who had not a penny to his name within the people of Damba, to know what his subjects do to strange people. Didi, dressed in his shabby clothes, some parts tattered, with a rubber bag in his hand and a mustache disguised, walked out of the palace, commencing his journey. The village was clean and tidy, though it was a market day. You could hear women hawking. Didi, in his particular torn clothes, walked through the aisles of the market, looking at how women called customers, children running helter-skelter, men showing off their masculinity. His stomach growled, reminding him he hadn't eaten since he left home. So he decided to beg for food from the food stalls he had walked past. "Hi, please, young lady, I am very hungry. Can you please give me some of the food to eat? The gods will bless you," Didi said. The young girl selling eba and egusi soup was beautiful and perfect, Didi thought. She could be the next princess of Damba. Lost in his thoughts, Nena, the young lady, laughed hysterically, and the women and men around him joined in the laughter. The gods have already blessed me. That is why I am the one selling food and you are begging. Leave before I make these men teach you a lesson, you filthy, smelly beggar. A young man got up with a gesture that showed they were ready to take him down. The entire day, Didi went from stall to stall, all with beautiful young ladies selling, but they all insulted him and even made the young men slap him twice. At 6 p.m., he was exhausted from all the walking. Not a single person opted to give him water to quench his thirst. There, in the outskirts of the village, he sat on a stone, thinking of how to even get water to drink. He heard a melodious voice singing to the quiet of the village. She sang so beautifully, though it was sad. His curiosity getting the best of him, he went towards the direction of the song. "You sing so beautifully," he said, scaring the daylight out of Adesa. "Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you," Didi said. Adesa and her grandmother were sitting in front of the bonfire of the night, which was a ritual for the duo. At this time of the night, "We are the only ones that live here," Grandma Adana said with concern. "I am a traveler, Mama. I'm going to the neighboring village, but got robbed, so I do not have money or food to eat." "Sit down, my son. Don't worry. Adesa, get him some water to drink and serve him some of the yam and palm oil." "Thank you, Mama," Didi said, kneeling down to Adana, the old woman. "Do not worry, my son. It's good omen to be kind to strangers." Didi drank the water and ate all the food Adesa served him. He thanked the duo and set out to leave, but Adana called and said, "Do you have a place to lay your head, my son?" "No, Mama," he replied shyly. "Adesa will prepare her heart for you tonight. You are welcome to stay as long as you want," Mama Adana said. Didi slept as soon as his back hit the mat. He didn't think of comfort. He just drifted into sleep. Morning sun through the window woke Didi up as Mama Adana and Adesa were headed to the farm. Didi was dumbfounded when he saw Adesa. He hadn't seen Adesa last night due to how pitch black it was. She was so beautiful and mesmerizing. She barely said a word to him and stood silently by her grandma. "Mama, I do not know how to farm, but I want to go to the farm with you." Didi, even though meant what he said, just wanted to get to know and get close to the beautiful young lady. To and fro from the farm, Adesa remained quiet and will occasionally talk undertone to her grandmother. She avoided Didi completely and barely glanced his path. The next day, Adesa was happy dancing to the tune of the music. Didi watched her as she gracefully swayed her hips. Mama said immediately she saw Didi, "So, my son, the young ladies begin their quest to win the prince's heart. First day is today, which is the girls dancing to the beats of the drum. Everyone will gather to watch and be entertained. Since you are passing through the village, stay and enjoy the show. It's just a week, and after, you can continue your journey." "Sure, Mama. I would love to see who wins the heart of the prince," Didi chipped in. "Adesa will be your companion for the night. I am too old for events like this." I will just rest my old body home, Mama Adana said, smiling. The village circle was full of villagers. The drum sound awakened joy in the hearts of the youth. The king and queen sat on thrones, nodding their heads as girls danced at the center of the gathering, showing off their dancing skills. Why didn't you participate? Didi asked Adesa, who hadn't said a word to him since they had met. The prince is royalty. He will not even glance my path. I am not worthy of royalty. Look at each lady trying to win over the prince's heart. They are way out of my league, Adesa said. You are beautiful, Adesa. Just know that, Didi added. Adesa was shocked anyone thought she was beautiful. Since birth, she was treated like a plague. So for that coming out from a stranger, she felt okay and let out a smile. The days went by fast, and with each day that passes, Adesa and Didi got closer. She opened up to him and they became friends. They talked, they joked and danced in the night time, went to farm, cooked and got to know each other on a daily basis. The last day came eventually. The ladies had put in all their effort, and the king and queen showed up to support them. The queen and the king sat in their throne as the king got up and spoke finally. Beautiful maidens of Damba, you all have shown us how beautiful, talented you are. I know you all haven't seen the prince since the commence of this event. He has been watching from the sideline. Therefore, I would like to welcome the Prince of Damba. Everyone began looking at each other, wondering who the prince was. Didi stood next to Mama Adana and Adesa as the king called out for him. He smiled towards Mama Adana and Adesa and walked towards the center of the gathering. Everyone gasped and they made his pointed finger at him in recognition. Didi began, I came to my subject in rags as clothes. I wanted to know how my subject would treat people they do not know. I wanted to know their likes and dislikes. I was hungry and begged for food. No one gave me. I begged for water. No one gave me water to drink. And no one even sheltered me for a day. I was slapped and kicked instead by my own people. Then I met this beautiful young lady named Adesa and her grandmother Adana, who found me worthy, gave me water within a second of knowing me, and food to eat. She even sheltered me for all the days that I've been here. So there, at the outskirts of the village, I found my wife and grandmother-in-law. Didi said, pointing to Adesa and Adana. A wise woman once said, it's good omen to be kind to people. And that is how the prince found his princess, and they lived happy ever after.